Hey everybody. We are going over the newest iteration for the quantum resonance crystal bed control box. The one that we have pictured in front of us is a little bit different than the previous generations, and everything's an ongoing evolution with these devices. On the front of this box, you'll see a power switch, frequency switch, infrared, and lights, and then this display here. So we're just going to go over real briefly, skim over everything, and then go back through and get a little bit more specific. Frequency has to do with this device and also the incoming music frequencies, and these go into the pulsed electromagnetic fields that surround each crystal. So the PEMF is controlled through this device. IR stands for the infrared or the deep red light. There's one diode on each of the holders that faces the client. So it's either on or pulsed or off in the middle. Finally, we have the lighting, which is the red, green, blue, white lighting that you see that wraps around the crystal that actually makes the crystal glow with that light. And let's turn to the left side. Left side we have, this is vibration, this is infrared, and this is lights. This is where the lights plug in. So the light bar has a L-shaped adapter, and that plugs into here. This controls how bright that deep red light is. And then finally, this goes to the massage table. So there's a plug hanging off the massage table. That gets plugged into here, goes in, snaps closed. On the back, this is the side that faces the client, by the way. We have a little card. Now this card contains all the lighting instruction for these buttons. It also tells the red, green, and blue lights what to display when you push select. We'll get into that in a little bit. And this is the volume for the massage table. This is the volume for the headphones. If you push either one of these in, you're going to hear a pop. That means you just muted the volume, which means you won't hear anything. If you want to hear the sound again, you need to push it one more time. Also, these are infinite, so there's no hard stop, either left or right. It's a pure digital control. It doesn't care what position it's in. It just remembers from the last point that it was in. So you can turn this up or down until it reaches its own maximum that it knows. Moving on to the right side, we have headphones, and that's where the headphones plug in. Music, there's a little icon with a music player, and that's where the music player plugs in. And then this is the secondary pulsed electromagnetic input control. Basically, if you have something like a spooky generator, a Rife machine, maybe a biomodulator, something along those lines, you're going to plug it into here. And it will output its frequencies into the crystal coils, those PEMF coils. Now let's take a look-see on the bottom. We have the power plug, and that's where that big brick that comes with the rest of the system goes. That's the power controller. This is for me and me only. This controls the digital signal processing. And this is the shoe which slides onto the tripod and then locks in place. All right, so we're going to get this all set up with the cables, and then we'll give it another go. When we connect this cable, it has one flat side, and the rest is a half round. So you can say it's a D if you look at it a certain way. And the corresponding side is also the same shape. You wiggle, 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 push, push, push. And if you tug, they're not going to come apart. But If you pull back on this one, it will create a release. So that way it doesn't inadvertently come off. So that's your power plug. Let's turn this on. Now, this is on my test bench. So what that means is I don't have the same power plugs or same plugs that you guys are using. I have my own modified ones, but they're still the same thing. And I'm plugging that in right over there. These lights right there, those are the infrared lights on my test bench. And I'm going to turn it off with my right thumb right here. So those just turned off. Now this, where my thumb is wiggling, that's for the lights. You can see them glowing right here. And we will just see if we can get them in the frame. There we go. Now those are off. Those are the same lights that are on your light bar, but I just have it in one long strip. So, oh God, I didn't even go over this part. So we have faster, slower, select, and memory. Select changes those lights. Total of 15 programs. There's some solid color ones, there's some purples, and there's chakra colors, of course. If you like one that you see, you hit memory, and that will keep it in long-term storage. If you're on one that pulses like this one does, you can make it go faster or slower. I don't find a particular benefit to those, they just look great. And I'm going to turn that off because it's a horrible glare. With the, let's do the rest of the connections. So we have your headphone adapter. This is the plug for the headphones. Goes in right there. Here's the cable for the music player. Here's my music player. Yours may be different. And I'm just going to turn this on. And get some music playing so we can see what goes on. So this is on pulse right now. Depending on the music, it will pulse a lot or a little. So you may be able to see those pulsing. I can see them really well pulsing. But what those are doing is pulsing to the music that's playing right now. And we're going to make this go to steady. So that's steady, and that's pulsation. Basically, pulsation creates a greater level of entrainment, and entrainment to the whole system in general. When your client is more entrained, they're going to drop deeper. This is the connector for the massage table. See, I just muted that. You should be able to hear this on the mic. And you can't hear any clarity because the transducers that are on the massage table only play certain frequencies. They're not going to play stuff that's really high. They just physically can't do it. They're designed to play vibrations, deep thudding vibrations. So the digital signal processor that's embedded into the system is telling it what to play. Now, we've gone over lights, infrared, frequency. Let's go over that a second. If you want to just set and forget, I would recommend just moving this frequency over to music. And then that will create an entrainment based off of the musical frequencies that are coming through the system. Now, if you want to experiment with your own frequencies, you can bring this up to display and then change the frequencies here. Maybe you want 111, and I keep the bottom number at 50%. That's a duty cycle. That tells it how long it's going to stay on and how much it's going to stay off. So 50% of the time the frequency is at 111. The other 50% of the time it's off. Now these pulse so quickly, it's not like 1 millisecond type of thing, it's fast. So you're not going to be able to register 111 hertz, but the system will. So don't even concern yourself with, oh God, it's going to be off 50% of the time. No, not at all. It's just going to be the most efficient way to use this. Now, the hertz is on the right. This will go up to kilohertz too. And when you press and hold, it moves really quickly. It's going to go up to 999 and then roll over to kilohertz. And so now it's 1.1 kilohertz, which is 1,100 hertz. Going back down, there is a limit to what it can do. I think it goes up to 20,000. And that's typically more than anyone will ever experience. We usually leave it on 111. That's a great frequency to work with. That is the basics of the control box. Use it, enjoy it. If you want just a really simple way to do things, you have the lights on, infrared, let that go steady. Then you don't have to worry about the pulsation annoying a client or anything like that. And then music for the most simplistic way. But if you want to do display, you can do that as well. Now you can turn off the lights, you can turn off the frequencies, and you can turn off these lights as well. That leaves you with just music. So you can create a vibration session only if you want to. All right, thanks so much.